Hello, Home Inspector. Mike Crow's next Home Inspector Mastermind meeting is coming up soon, and you are invited. Join Mike Crow, the father of Home Inspector Marketing, along with Davey Tyberski, America's Chief Profit Officer, for this gathering of some of the most successful minds in the home inspection industry. During this meeting, you'll discover how to increase your home inspection revenue, improve your cash flow, and boost your bottom line. Plus, this meeting is 100% absolutely guaranteed, so you have nothing to lose. Take advantage of this opportunity now and find out more at coachblueprint.com/invite. That's coachblueprint.com/invite. And now, here's Mike.
Hi, this is Mike Crow, and I run a home inspection business. In fact, I've run a couple of home inspection businesses. The true joy for me, though, has been helping literally thousands of home inspectors build really solid home inspection businesses as well. We can help a single-man operation be able to do over $300,000 a year, maybe all the way up to $400,000 a year as a single inspector operation. Even better for me is the 80-plus companies that we have helped be able to build million-dollar home inspection businesses. I would like to help you be able to do the same thing. Next piece of this, we're going to talk a little bit about on-site versus later, the routine, and a couple other things, digital photos, summary page, inspection agreement, and some other things. So here's a big question. This is one of those things, I love the question, and I love to help make sure, and maybe I should ask Sage, because he's going to get the answer right, okay? Which one do you want, okay? Do you want a narrative report, or do you want a checklist report? Which one do I want, Sage? Both. Man, you're a quick learner. I love that. Thank you for getting the answer right, okay? The answer is both. I want both. I want the speed of the checklist so I can go boom, 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 okay? Especially on computers nowadays, I can just go click, 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 space, okay? We have some inspectors who know exactly how many spaces between this and the next time they're supposed to click. I love those guys, by the way. All right, they're speed demons. But I also need the ability to say whatever I need to say. So if I want to talk about the roof and I need a paragraph, then I want to be able to put a whole paragraph in. Hey, there's tree damage, and the flashings have been chewed by squirrels, and there's this, and there's deterioration of the shingles, and then recommend a roofer for these repairs and any other repairs noted at that time, okay? So maybe I need a whole paragraph. By the way, here's another secret. Some inspectors like putting 6 notes under roof. I put 1. People like to read 1 note. They don't like to read 6 because it's like stacking and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But when it's in 1 paragraph and you make 1 recommendation for a roofer, somehow it seems a little bit more palatable. Don't understand why. Do we care? No. As long as we know that that's what works best, then that's what we do, okay? So you've got that piece of it to go from there, all right? Next piece. On-site report versus doing the report later. And here's the cool thing is, you know what I love about the world of home inspectors right now? And here's one of my favorite sayings that you'll hear me say. If you work with me as a coach, you're going to hear me say this at some point, okay? I love my competition. I love my competition because they're like 95%ers. They think all of this, and I'm going to teach you some of the things that they think that you absolutely do not want to do. And they think doing the report on site is insane. And I love my competition because we've done over 100,000 reports and all of them are on site. We had one inspector that went, no, I can't do that. He doesn't work for us anymore. He would literally go, I went home, I typed it up, I sent it out that night, everything should be fine. No, it doesn't work that way. Part of our unique selling point is that we give you the report while you're standing there at the house. Well, that's just nuts. So he didn't work for us anymore, okay? By the way, some people are good at home inspectors and some are not. And some maybe just deserve to work somewhere else, okay? So he's working for, I don't know, his competition or somewhere. I haven't heard anything about him in ages. I don't know if he's even still in the inspection business, all right? So on-site is preferred by the buyers, the sellers, and the agents. You know who doesn't care? The attorneys. Man, they are on their whole own time frame in the world. They've got everything timed out, and it's always 2 or 3 days later. They don't care. And by the way, we had a gentleman come into our coaching program, and he lives in Ireland, right? And I went to Ireland. I went because I know their system is different. So I went to Ireland. Guess who's in charge of real estate sales in Ireland? There is an agent per house. And if you list the house, you are the only agent that sells the house. So what they've done is they've built in attorneys, or as they like to call them over there, solicitors, and they oversee all of the paperwork to make sure that the agent is doing okay and protecting the client. And it slows the whole process down. And so where it might take you a month to buy a house, if you were really in a hurry here, you could probably even do it less than that. On there, it's 3 to 6 months or more to buy a house. Because the attorneys, they work on their own time frame. So they don't really care. But the main reason inspectors don't deliver on site is because of time. And they don't know how to do it effectively. So I'm going to share this with you because this is really important, and share it with you real quick. So your routine, we talked about routine a little bit, and I want to kind of share some ideas with you. One is you arrive 30 minutes early to the inspection. By the way, there are sweet spots in everything. And after you've done 100,000 inspections, you start figuring out where the sweet spots are, right? Look, I've been married and working on 46 years. I know there are some things I say to my wife, that's a sweet spot, and there are some things I don't say to my wife because, well, let's just say it isn't in my best interest, okay? It's the same thing with a home inspection. If you arrive an hour early, you're too early. If you arrive 15 minutes early, you're still off. And here's the interesting thing. By arriving 30 minutes early, you are in charge of the inspection. If you arrive at 12 o'clock and the inspection starts at 12 o'clock and everybody's already there, you're already behind the game plan and you don't even realize it. Showing up 30 minutes early is a special place to be able to do that and be able to work that through. And so, and there's 4 things that we inspect: roof, foundation, okay, termite inspection. If you're doing termite, we like to get that started and then get our report started. All of that happens in the first 30 minutes. By the way, think about this for a second. Roof, foundation, termite, 3 biggest challenges in pricing of a home that we've run into. If you have a lot of termites, that's a problem, okay? If you have a foundation issue, that's a problem. If there's a roof issue, that's a problem, okay? And you now have had 30 minutes to look at it without somebody standing over your shoulder going, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Okay? Because let me tell you, that can be a distraction and you might say the wrong thing, okay? So we have that. Now, I want you to understand that the rest of the world's going to teach you to do this differently, and that's okay. And part of the reason I teach it this way is because I'm in Texas and we don't have basements. Part of the reason. But I will tell you that I've discovered even the way that I'm teaching you this works well, even if you do live in part of the world that has basements, so it's okay, all right? So we start in the kitchen, all right? Let me ask you a question. Scott, why kitchen? That's exactly correct. So here's what Scott said, is that 30 minutes early, they show up, the client shows up, we introduce ourselves hopefully and everything. We start in the kitchen. They watch us do the kitchen inspection. And if you do it the way I teach you to do it, then they go, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. Think about this. You touch plumbing, you touch electrical, you touch appliances. You're looking at the structure and different things. So by the time you're done the kitchen, they go, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. By the way, we have a couple of questions that we purposely ask the buyer while we're in the kitchen to help make sure we build a relationship with us. And by the time we're done with the kitchen, they're good. They want to go look at whatever they want to go look at, and they let us do our job. Okay? And by the way, if you want them to follow you all the way, that's great, okay? And so then what we do is we head to the master bedroom, and on the way to the master bedroom, we either turn on the heat or air conditioning, depending on what time of year it is. So if it's wintertime, we're turning on the heat, turning it up good, okay? If it's summertime, we're turning on the air conditioning, and we're cooling off the house as well as we can, all right? Doesn't hurt us either way. We love it, all right? So the master bedroom, and then other bedrooms and baths, and then the living room, and then the garage, and then what I like to say is seconds. anything that you need to go back on and take a look. So in the kitchen, we turn the oven on, right? And when the oven is running, and we want to go back and do a second on it to see what the temperature reading is on the oven. And same thing with the dishwasher. We also take a look around the outside of the house to see how the HVAC is running there and everything. By the way, depending on where we're at in here, right in here somewhere is where we do the second check on the other side of the heating and air conditioning unit. And I wanted to do it like very last thing, because if it fails, I do not want to be standing in a miserable house for an hour, okay? So I turn on AC during the summer, and then I go through the whole thing, and as I get to the end, okay, then I turn on the heat to make sure the heat works, and if it fails, the whole house gets hot, but I'm not there for an hour in the heat, okay? And look, I like my life, and I don't mind sweating, but I don't need to do it on purpose, okay? And by the way, there's another reason for that. Neither the client nor my maven want to stand in heat for an hour either, okay? And so there's a lot of little pieces of that. Here's the other thing is, I'll give you a couple little things real quick. As you're going through the routine, you go into the house, you turn on all of the lights. And I have inspectors go, yep, and then when I inspect this room, I turn the light off. And then when I inspect this room, I turn the light off. So I know I've inspected that room. Wrong. You never turn out any lights. Your mavens want a well-lit home. And as soon as you start turning lights out, people start thinking less of the house. So there's all these little nuances. Now, here's the most important thing about the routine and about on-site versus later. This is one of those things that I do that is not as efficient as possible. And I'm an efficiency freak, if you haven't figured that out, okay? I love things to go this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then I love to be able to go back this way and this way. I want it to be done exactly right, okay? And so one of the things is that I do this one differently because it's not efficient, but it's effective. And they're not the same thing. So here's what happens is most inspectors that want to do the report on site, and the reason they think it doesn't work is because they try to be efficient. Home inspectors are efficient people. So they do the whole inspection, and then the really dumb ones go sit down at the kitchen table and start typing up the report. And they're typing it up. And they're typing it up. 20 minutes goes by and they're typing it up. 25 minutes goes by and they're typing it up. And then the buyer comes over and goes, can I ask you a simple question? Yeah. How much longer do you think you're going to be? Oh, I'm going to be about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Okay. In that case, just email me a copy of the report. I got to go check on a kiddo. I got to go do this. I got to go buy this. I got to pick up dry cleaning. Whatever excuse they want to make, they're leaving. And now you don't get to go over the report with the client. And I will tell you, 90% of your complaints will come from not going over the report with the client. And so you don't want to make that happen. So here's how you solve this. 30 minutes we arrive early, right? And we start on the report. We do the kitchen, right? And then we put some notes in about the report. Then we do the master bathroom and the master bedroom. And then we put some notes in about the report. Then we do the other bedroom and the bathroom and the living room. And by the way, the garage, when I say garage, let's just figure attic in here as well, okay? And do that. And then I put some notes in the report. Then I do the garage and the attic, okay? And then I put some notes in the report. And you can see that one coming, right? And here's a thing that's important that I want you to hear that most inspectors don't think about. Sometimes buyers are waiting to see if you make a mistake. They've seen something during the inspection. This is a bonus. Is it okay if I give you a bonus real quick? This is a bonus. Hey, James, is there anything you've seen during the inspection that you think is important that we haven't talked about? And James is thinking, aha, I got him. Okay? Going, no, nothing I've seen. And you can see it in his eye. You can hear it in his voice, right? James, just so you know, we're both on the same side. So if there's anything you've seen that you have any questions about that we haven't talked about, now would be a good time to point it out so I can make sure that it's in the report for you. They almost always give it up at that point. Oh, yeah, well, I did see this one thing. There was the water stain in the master bedroom closet. Did you see that? And I'm thinking to myself, well, here's what I say. I go, you know what? I've written some water stains up. Let's go make sure we're talking about the same thing. So make sure that what we're talking about here is exactly the same thing. And as we're walking towards the master bedroom, I'm thinking to myself, how in the heck did I miss a water stain in the closet? And then you get in there and it's basketball size. And you're going, oh my gosh, how did I miss that, right? And you go, absolutely, I saw that. But since you've mentioned it, let me take another look in the attic and see if there's any reason that might be there. Okay? I just want to, since you brought it up, let me take a closer look at it. I don't admit that I didn't see it, even though I didn't. Okay? I don't admit anything there, but I do try to make sure, and then I go back, and by the way, when I finish here, so that's a bonus. Second bonus is this. Now, and by the way, that's where this comes in. I say something simple along the lines of this nature. We're almost done with the report, almost done with the inspection. I've only got a couple things left. I need to finish putting a couple items in. It'll probably take me 5 minutes, maybe 10 tops, and then I'm going to be able to go over everything with you. Then I ask them, by the way, is there anything that you've seen that, blah, 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 all right? And they think, you know how long they think I've spent on the report? They don't. They don't think about it. And here's what I want you to understand. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe 60 minutes. I may have spent an hour on the report, but nobody feels it because I did it a little piece at a time. But if you do that entire inspection and then sit down and start typing, even if you stand up and continue to type somewhere, after 20, 25 minutes, human nature kicks in and they think, I have better things to do than stand here and watch him click on a keyboard. All right? So it's very important that you understand that. And so on-site versus later. Everybody wants it. Fewer and fewer inspectors are doing it, and most of my competition isn't. God, I love my competition, okay? So it's very simple, very straightforward in that regards.